Oh. Oh. Let's cut her open. Okay. Okay. This is a very small pottery wheel. I mean, comes with a handy little manual and tools, how to throw. Oh, interesting. I thought I was getting a different model than this. Oh, wow. It came with all these tools. Okay, the big reveal. Okay, let's get this box out of here. So this is it. Pedal feels pretty smooth. Right off the bat, I mean, like, you would literally have to sit on your butt and throw to make this work, which I need to change my pants if I'm gonna do that because they're gonna get super dusty on this floor. All right, let's change my pants. Quick break.
If it feels like I filmed the beginning of this video last week, it's because I did. Because I was gone for the holidays and then I also happened to get COVID and I'm slowly getting better, but I wanted to come back to this video and finish my wheel review. So like I said in the beginning, you could literally sit on your butt and throw. It's 13 inches to the wheel head from the ground, which is incredibly short. This is literally half the size. So if you plan on getting this wheel, I would say you're gonna have to build a platform for it. Something a little more ergonomical than just sitting on a cold floor and throwing your pottery. Box of tools. And I think some of these are components for the actual wheel. Whoa. These little L-shaped tools, which actually feel super sharp. Generally, I think people use these for trimming porcelain. They kind of look like traditional Korean trimming tools. They're heavy too, they feel like they're well made. They send you. They sent this apron, designed for a 5-year-old. It's very cute. We'll definitely be using that. And then this is like a more standard tool set that you'd find with a pottery kit. Let's get into this. Take this apart. Okay. So we've got some little legs that I will put on the bottom of it. Okay. A pottery wheel that's probably meant for a 5-year-old. Can't forget our apron. 1 pound of clay, a rag. Honestly, not room in here to fit a water bucket, so I just have mine on the ground. Go ahead and flip it on. Wow, it's pretty quiet. I don't know what else I was expecting. It does have a reverse and a forward. Okay, here we go. Let's test out 1 pound. the more torque and the more pressure that's going to be on the motor, and the more that it wants to slow down. So it's definitely not powerful. But for small amounts of clay, this is great. I'm gonna need to switch my positions. The sitting down business is not working. So we'll sort of get like, I couldn't imagine squatting and throwing for more than one pot. So that's the slowest speed, which is pretty funny. The fact that the wheel head cannot go slower than this, and it really doesn't take a lot of pressure to bog this thing down. We successfully and pretty easily threw a 1 pound pot. With pretty even walls. I have a strong suspicion that as soon as we get into a larger amount of clay, this motor is just not going to be able to handle it. Okay, I've gone ahead and set this up on some cinder blocks. I'm going to start with 5 pounds and then we'll work our way to 11. Like, it feels like I'm doing something wrong. Like, I should not be throwing with this much clay on this wheel. Centering is a struggle. So let's turn up the speed. This is full speed. And it's not struggling. Wow. I'm impressed. It appears I gave this wheel less credit than it deserved. It's nice that this pedal has a little knob on it, because there's no way you're propping your foot up here to control the speed. It just feels ridiculous. To pull the walls up on a tall pot on this wheel is just gonna feel very funny. Like, it can't go slower than that. Faster isn't really better in pottery. Unless you're centering something, if you throw your pots at like the fastest speed possible, that feels like a red flag to me. I just don't trust you. It's just so much harder to control, and you can't slow your pot down when it's, you know, a taller piece. Well, I think my opinion hasn't changed. It just feels like an ideal wheel for making something 1 pound to 2 pounds, maybe 3 pounds. I think this is about 2.5 kilos, 5, 6 pounds of clay. Centering wasn't an issue. Pulling the walls, all that isn't an issue because this thing, the speed is pretty high. The issue is that you can't really slow the wheel down faster than, that's the slowest speed, which is problematic if you're throwing tall pots. The odds of you having control of something that's this tall spinning this fast is low, at least for me. And who would we be if we didn't chop this pot in half? You know what? The walls are pretty even. I'm not mad at that. Okay, let's basically double this amount and see what happens. Okay, we've got our 11 pounds of clay to give us our 5 kilos, which is apparently the max load for this little baby wheel. I honestly think this clay weighs as much as the wheel. And I'm scared. Wish me luck. It's definitely gonna have to go faster. Oh my gosh. So you have to be really gentle. I'm used to working with a pottery wheel that weighs like 80 pounds plus. I think this one weighs over 100 pounds. So to be trying to center clay that weighs as much as your equipment. Okay. Now let's open it up. I can already tell the biggest issue that I'm gonna have is trying to pull up the walls of this pot at such a high speed. The speed is just such a problem. Like, that's just slowest speed. Like, what is that? Okay, the apron came off. I was a little defeated in that last take. This time we got it. Take 2. Like, even just to do a first pull, this is the speed that ideally I would have it at. And the only reason it can even go that slow is because I'm putting so much pressure on the wheel. And then as soon as I let off that pressure, it speeds up. Like, it's going too slow now to even collar the clay, so I would speed up the wheel, but then I'll just lose control. So we're just it's nice and easy. As soon as I try to get all this clay up from the bottom, I'm just having a hard time. not bad. We've made more progress than the first take. And that concludes our testing on the V4 pottery wheel. Overall thoughts and concerns, the size of it is just way too small. The speed has little to no adjustment. It goes either medium fast or super fast, which makes it very hard to control a big pot or a small pot if you're starting out. It's probably my biggest thing, is just the speed with this wheel is very frustrating. If you're starting out with pottery and you just don't know if you're gonna like it and you just wanna try it out, this is $200. This could be the wheel for you. But even then, I have a hard time recommending it to people, because why spend $200 on something that isn't really gonna cut it when you can get a used wheel for $400 and you could have it for 10 years, or you could just spend another $800 and have a better experience. Because if you spend $200 on a pottery wheel that's not really giving you all that you're asking for, you're probably gonna have a bad time and you might not want to try pottery again. Get some good pottery equipment, it's worth the investment. With that being said, if you've been thinking about getting a wheel, hopefully this will help you make a decision.